Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warship Blitz. This is the big race map, which believe it or not is probably one of the ones I find difficult because it is relatively complex. Circles of different sizes, sometimes it's bad choices. You end up in the open with a battleship on the C cap, or you end up mixing it up with destroyers inappropriately in the A cap. So it can be a bit of a difficult game, but anyway, we're off to a great start. I think from memory in this game I may actually not do my usual getting ahead of myself. So as you can see, I'm in my Leander with historical camouflage, so it has concealment, it has turning, it has turret traverse, it's elite. Skill is even further turret traverse, so it has plus 20% plus another 20% turret traverse, which means that if I need to reacquire targets, it's pretty quick. With the historical camouflage, the detection radius on this thing is 6.45 kilometers, which is about the same as some stock destroyers. So I'm not detected even now. Now I've just been detected, and this Fubuki is my first victim. Well, actually, it's my first target. I'm not sure if he's my first victim. Let's see how this plays out. I played this game a couple of days ago, so although it's looking more and more likely. So I fire the torpedoes. Now, the torpedoes are usually to shape his behaviour. No, he was my first victim. So what I do is I fire the torpedoes where I don't want them to go, generally to try and cut off an avenue of escape, or to force them out of a cap, or to force them to turn into a position where they can't fire their own torpedoes and I can keep hammering them with my guns. Right, this New York, I should have slowed and should have turned a lot earlier, because I suspect what is about to happen is what often happens about a minute or 2 minutes into the game, is I'll get hammered by a large ship. My torpedoes hadn't reloaded anyway, which basically will fire off 4 in a row. So basically ripple fire. So you saw what he did there. He fired his secondaries to try and gauge the range, and then he fired his primaries, and he got some good hits. Didn't wipe me out as much as he could have, but he wiped me out pretty badly, and you can see my line of torpedoes just going straight into him. 1, 2, 3, 4, and got the sunk because other torpedoes came in between times. So the rule with the Leander, if you're in torpedoes, is that the spread for destroyers and a line for battleships. And for cruisers, well, yeah, play it by ear, but generally a spread's probably better. I often try and do a line, or at least 2 lines of torpedoes, of ripple fire. Right, this is a Farragut. Okay, well, he's crashed himself into the island. I'm weaving backwards and forwards here so that he doesn't actually have any opportunity to get his torpedoes lined up on a straight target. I should have. So there you go. My torpedoes are off. He hasn't noticed them. Now he's having to react to them, so he'll be turning away. This is actually quite a difficult. Often you have to make a choice here, because what happens, he slowed right down, is that at this sort of distance you don't get a lot of hits, and it can take a long time to knock down a destroyer, and if the game is in the balance you can be out of it for quite some time. Now with this game it's 5-3, so I am taking my time to get him, to knock him down, and I think we get him. With this one, I smoke up. Now I make one fundamental mistake here, because the one thing you have to do with a destroyer is, and you'll hear it about now, assume the last thing they did was fire a spread of torpedoes at you. And as you can see, that's exactly what he did. Fortunately, I was reversing, so that wasn't too bad. And yeah, so that's one of the really important lessons for a Leander or any cruiser that is in for hunting destroyers. Oops, that Fubuki, that looks like a Fubuki took him out. Anyway, 3 kills in Leander, not bad. The last one put up a bit of a fight, but it's always good to have keep your hand in it long distance shooting. So let's see how we did. Wait for the screen to load up, and the first scoreboard is okay. So that Fubuki, good on him, because he really knocked over some ships and got some caps. And as you can see, 4 torpedoes into a opportunity into a battleship, but most of the work done with the guns. Thanks for watching.